All right, today we're going to build something pretty amazing, your very own personalized AI assistant. We're going to go from zero to hero, starting with the absolute basics, and then leveling up to some expert techniques that'll turn your AI into a serious productivity machine. Okay, let's get into it. You know the feeling, right? You ask your AI a question, and the answer is okay, I guess. But it's so broad, it doesn't have any of your context, and it definitely doesn't know the first thing about your projects or your unique style. It's kind of like asking a total stranger for directions to a secret spot that only you and your friends know about. It's just not going to work. So, how do we fix that? Well, the answer is custom GPTs. These are the solution to that whole generic answer problem. They let you create a specialized AI assistant that is perfectly, and I mean perfectly, tailored to what you need. I think this analogy just nails it. A standard AI, that's your jack of all trades. But a custom GPT, that's a master of one. And the best part is, you get to decide what that one thing is. It could be anything: baking cookies, analyzing legal docs, or even writing emails in your specific voice. So here's the secret sauce. It's all about the data. A general AI is trained on, well, basically the entire internet. But a custom GPT is trained on data that you provide it. We're talking your company's style guide, your project files, maybe even your past emails. That's what gives it that deep, expert-level knowledge that a generic model just can't touch. Okay, but why go through the trouble? Well, the payoff is huge. You start getting responses that are always on brand and way more accurate. You can automate all those little repetitive AI tasks you do 10 times a day. And for businesses, this is an absolute game changer for getting everyone on the same page and scaling that internal knowledge. And if you're a numbers person, check this out. A global study found that companies using custom AI assistants saw their productivity jump by an average of 32%. That's not just a small tweak, that's a fundamental change in how work gets done. So you're probably sold on the why at this point. Let's jump into the how. And you might be thinking this is going to require a bunch of coding or a computer science degree, but you can actually build your first one in just a few minutes. Seriously. The whole process is surprisingly simple because it's just a conversation. Instead of writing code, you just talk to the builder. You tell it what you want in plain English. It'll even help with the name and profile pic, so you can focus on the important part, the instructions, before you save and share your new assistant. Let's make this super real. Say you tell the builder, hey, I want to make a GPT that helps people bake the best cookies ever. It might come back and suggest the name Cookie Helper, and even whip up a fun little cookie logo for you. You can tell it to be super fun and energetic and to always bring the conversation back to baking. And just like that, you've created a specialist. Okay, building that first GPT is cool, but now it's time to give it some superpowers. This is where we go from a simple assistant to an absolutely indispensable tool that knows your world inside and out. Superpower number 1 is called knowledge. This is the feature that lets you upload your own documents. And just think about the possibilities here. You can give it project briefs, customer personas, technical manuals, transcripts of your meetings, anything. Your GPT will absorb all of it and use that as its single source of truth. And just look at the difference. It is night and day. A generic GPT has no clue about your family's secret cookie recipe. But the second you upload that file, your custom GPT becomes an instant expert. It can pull up the ingredients, the steps, everything, because it's looking at your private data. This is so powerful. The second superpower, actions, takes things even further. This lets you connect your GPT to all the other apps you use every day. Through things called APIs, it can go from just telling you stuff to actually doing stuff for you, like drafting an email in Gmail, checking your calendar, or sending a message for you in Slack. It becomes an active player in your workflow. Okay. You've built your GPT, you've given it superpowers. Now let's talk about mastery. This is what separates a fun little weekend project from a pro-level tool that you can actually rely on every single day. To really master this, there are a few key rules to live by. You definitely want to keep your GPT focused on narrow, specific tasks. That's where they shine. And you have to be obsessed with the quality of your training data. Because, garbage in, garbage out. Oh, and a really crucial one on the don't side, don't think of this as a way to replace people. Think of it as a tool to augment them, to make them better at their jobs. Now, if you want to write truly great instructions, using a framework can be a huge help. There's a popular one called INFUSE, and it's awesome because it makes you think through every little piece of your AI's behavior, from its core personality to how it should adapt when a user seems confused, all the way to the critical rules it can never ever break. This is how you design a great experience, not just a simple tool. And if you're wondering if big companies are actually doing this at scale, just look at Moderna. In only 4 months, they built over 750 custom GPTs. These assistants support 6,000 employees in everything from R&D to compliance. Each one is like a little digital expert, automating tedious work. This is what the future of work looks like. We are so close to the finish line. You've got the complete blueprint now for an amazing custom AI. But before you run off to build one, let's add that final polish, talking about the common mistakes that can trip people up and, of course, how you can avoid them. Every one of these can seriously weaken your GPT's performance. Vague instructions are a total killer. Not giving it enough high-quality knowledge is another. And here's a neat pro tip from the community: try to avoid PDFs for your knowledge files. Plain text or docs files tend to work much more reliably. And please don't forget to give it examples. You gotta show it what good looks like. You know, this quote from a user on Reddit just perfectly sums it all up. The real difference between a generic tool and something that's truly helpful isn't just the tech, it's the thought and the care you put into designing it. It's about crafting an experience that solves a real-world problem. So, there you have it, the whole journey, from a simple idea all the way to a powerful, custom-built AI assistant. The technology has never been more accessible, and the potential is just enormous. You have the blueprint, so the only question left is, what problem will you solve first?